this is a skein of 6-strand DMC embroidery floss. Now when you have your thread in the skein, you'll always want to take your thread from the side with the number on it. So this little side that's sticking out, you will always take your thread from this side to prevent your skein from tangling as you pull. Now, the length of thread that you'll want to pull is going to be about the length to your elbow. If you're feeling adventurous, you can go to your shoulder. Just know that the longer the thread is, the more prone it will be to tangling. So that is up to you, but you'll snip it. And with 6-strand embroidery floss, it is common practice to split the strands. So if you kind of give it a little meddling, you'll kind of notice that they start to naturally split. You're going to grab them and split them however many you want to use. So I'm going to be using 3 strands today with this color. So you're just going to gently pull those apart. It might look a little crazy, trust the process. Pull really slowly and gently until it comes apart. Now I always tie a little square knot. And then if I have a lot of excess hanging over the end, I just snip that off. And then to thread the needle, I lick it and then kind of pinch it so it comes to a point. And then I grab my needle. Where is my needle? Oh, it's right there. And this is a DMC size 5 embroidery needle. And just thread it like so. So this will be the strand that we're stitching with, and this smaller piece is called the tail. And you can kind of put that wherever you want, just make sure you've got enough thread to stitch with. And then as you're stitching, continue to pull that thread shorter and shorter until you can't use the thread anymore. But that way you don't have so much thread to pull through. You've got yourself a nice thread to stitch with. Anyway. If you're wanting to stitch with 6 full strands, but don't want to create like really large holes in your fabric, what you can do is split your strands into 3, thread your needle, and pull that all the way to the middle of your thread, and then you're going to take the ends and tie them together. And then if you want to snip the ends off, because I don't like excess, go ahead and do it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pull that needle to the center. So then you have, it's one long piece, so there's no like shorter tail. It all comes together to the end like this, and your needle is in the middle of that. And so you'll embroider just like this until you get to the end, and then you can tie it off and then replace. But this way you're stitching with 6 strands of floss without having that tail, which means you would be pulling 12 strands through your fabric if you had 6 strands going through. This also is easier to thread the needle with 3 strands than it is 6. Overall, this is just an easier method, but you do you. That's just how I'm going to end up doing 6 strands. And yeah, anyway.